Hello, guys and gals. This is part 4 of the Undertale narration. In this particular video, we will be discussing Undyne, Mettaton, Napstablook, and some of the ghosts you meet around. And when I first started this series, I didn't know anything about Undyne except how you got away from her and stuff like that. How you kite her to Hotland and then you give her water and then she leaves you alone. We might even talk a little bit about Monster Kid in this one too, because Monster Kid is really an interesting character. I feel very minor, but also very interesting. Anyways, again, there won't be any visuals, so you don't really need to watch this. You can have it on as background noise. It's fine. Anyways, so let's talk about Undyne. Undyne appears to be part fish. I don't know. It looks like she has gills and she has a little fishy frill things for ears. And an eye patch, so she looks really cool. And she has blue skin. So she's like a fish person, which is really, really cool. Anyways, as mentioned in, I believe part 2 was where we talked about Alphys. Alphys has a crush on Undyne, and apparently Undyne also likes Alphys. Anyways, in the true pacifist run, or probably in the neutral run too, you can actually befriend Undyne by going on a date with her. And dates are always really fun. I mean, and they're always done, in a PG manner, and so they're just really, really funny and pretty epic. When you go on a date with Papyrus, basically, you talk, and it's just really, really funny. Because Papyrus is such a well-developed and well-designed character. He's meant to be goofy and stuff like that. Anyways, but we're going to talk about Undyne. Now, once you defeat Undyne, then you can locate her house, and you'll find Papyrus out front. And he's like, oh, here, give her this. And I think it's like a stuffed toy or something. I don't exactly remember. Anyways, but yeah, once you start talking to Undyne, then Papyrus jumps out a window, and it's really, really funny. It's like probably one of the best scenes in the entire game. Funniest, rather. Now, what's funny about Undyne is she really doesn't care much for her house. I mean, now when you first come to her house, you'll hear piano music, and it's of Alphys's lab theme, which is kind of, funny. Anyways, what she'll do first is she will basically break the table like completely in half with her energy spear. I mean, she just is really kind of rough with her stuff. That's after she throws the stuffed animal in with all the others, and you can see there's like a quadrillion of them in there because Papyrus is always giving her stuffed animals or something. You also find out that Undyne is teaching Papyrus how to cook pasta, and that since Papyrus isn't there, she's going to teach you how to cook. And that gets a little violent. I mean, basically, she takes the tomatoes and she throws them against the wall, and then you scrape them off, and then you take the pasta and you put it box and all into the water, and into the bowl. I mean the cooking pot. And then she turns the temperature up to 500 or 5,000 or something. And of course it burns down her house. It doesn't exactly burn down her house, but it's just really, really funny. And she doesn't even really care. She laughs about it, and then she just goes to live with Papyrus. It's just funny. Anyways, another thing about her house is that she has this huge sword that's bigger than she is. And basically, her and Alphys like to talk about anime, and so they have a lot of misconceptions about humans because they base it off of anime and cartoons and stuff. So it's really, really funny. Anyways, there's probably more to this. I mean, there's one part where basically she makes you tea, and you drink it, but you burn yourself, which is. But yeah, and basically, in order to, she takes you by your head and then puts you up there, where so you can cook. Anyways, all that aside, we'll talk about the ghost basically because ghosts in Undertale are non-corporeal. In other words, they're immaterial. They can go through walls, and they basically, in order to be physical or corporeal, they need a vessel, or they need to possess something, an object. And so that's why there are at least 3 training dummies in Undertale. And the first one is basically the one that Toriel teaches you how to fight on. I mean, and you really get in trouble if you actually kill that dummy, because you rid one of the ghosts of their home, because that's exactly the anchor that anchors. It gives them a physical body. Now, there is a training dummy in front of Undyne's house, and that's basically why we're talking about this now, is because and if you talk to it, it just says, well, it's a living, and that's about it. Now, when you're running from Undyne, you'll be on a bridge, and she'll cut the bridge, and you'll fall into the junkyard, the scrap heap, and it's basically where Alphys comes a lot, and Undyne, and you'll meet a dummy there that will be really upset if you don't do everything right. I mean, if you ran away from the first dummy, then it'll get mad at you. If you killed the first dummy, then it'll get mad at you. And it's kind of a funny fight, because you can basically make it so that it gets hit by its own attacks, and that's basically the way you beat it. But on the topic of ghosts, besides the training dummies, there is Mettaton. And we're going to talk about Mettaton a little bit. We probably won't get all the way through Mettaton, because he's kind of a complex character. Undyne mentions that Mettaton comes to visit with Alphys once in a while, and all that he'll do is he'll lay seductively on the piano and eat grapes or something. And and Mettaton is really outgoing, and he's a TV personality, really flamboyant, stuff like that. But the ghost I'd like to talk about is Napstablook. And you meet Napstablook, I believe that's something like that. Anyway, beyond the ruins. And he's able to get into the ruins because he's a ghost. I mean, the door, Toriel has it sealed off so that only spiders can get through. And to a certain extent, spiders can't get through, because they'd have to go through Snowdin, and it's too cold for them. But there is a group of spiders that do live in the underground, and they have a bake sale, and you can buy their products, and that comes in handy. And we will talk about Miss Muffet later. Miss Muffet is a spider, anthropomorphic spider, actually. Anyways, but yeah, that's probably going to be in the next part where we talk about Miss Muffet. Now, this is really interesting, because Napstablook doesn't exactly have a corporeal form. He's just a ghost who floats around. And ghosts don't really need to possess objects, to survive. They can just survive as ghosts. Now, Alphys apparently met Mettaton, early on, and decided to make him a body. And his body is basically like that of a calculator. He's like a rectangle. And later he gets an upgraded body that is basically female, and a big robotic female. And called Mettaton EX. And basically you beat him. He's basically the last time you meet Mettaton is you beat him up and you drain his batteries, but he still befriends you, apparently, in the true pacifist run. Now, Mettaton did start out living in the house right next to Napstablook. Now, Napstablook lives in a blue house that faces one way, has looks like a lot like a Smurf house, if you know what I mean. But the tip of it points one way, and then there's a pink house and with the rounded tip facing the other way. And the houses are right next to each other. And you get the key to Mettaton's house, and you'll find that he's collected journals, and each journal will only have one entry in it. And we're about out of time. But anyways, what I was going to say is Mettaton started out life as a ghost, and now he's a television personality. And the way you beat him is you get him 10,000 views, rating points. And so yeah. But yeah, in the next one, we will probably talk about some of the lesser characters. We will talk about Monster Kid. I'm sorry we didn't get to that one yet. It's always good to talk about Monster Kid when we talk about Undyne because that's basically when you meet him. Anyways, so yeah, in the next one we'll talk about Monster Kid, Miss Muffet, maybe even some more of the Ascor fight at the end of the game. And now I don't really know anything about Azrael, and hopefully I'll know more tomorrow because the walkthrough that I'm actually watching, the Truth Pacifist run of, should update tomorrow and be like complete. So I should have all the information that I need then. So my information is basically limited by because I'm watching this YouTuber go through it at his own pace, which is good. Now, as always, I'd like to thank Toby Fox for his intellectual property, because Undertale is such a wonderful game. And I'd like to thank everyone for their support. I love making these videos, and I hope that you can get some enjoyment out of them. As always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.